Right now on Morning News Now, tragedy in Texas. That historic flooding has now killed more than 100 people, with the death toll expected to continue to grow. The search for survivors continuing this morning, even as the focus begins to shift now toward recovery and accountability. We have all the latest developments from the ground. Also this morning, political split screen, Gaza under bombardment, while Prime Minister Netanyahu meets with President Trump in Washington to discuss a ceasefire, where things stand this morning in the push for peace. Plus, looking to rebound, President Trump pushing back the deadline on his tariffs as Wall Street suffers a rough day. But the White House is not backing down, sending letters to 14 countries, setting new higher tariff rates, including on major trading partners, Japan and South Korea. What's behind the move and what it could mean for your bottom line. And if you're looking to pick up a new hobby this summer, we'll tell you which ones could have the biggest impact on your mental health and give you that boost that you are looking for.
Good morning. Good to have you with us on a Tuesday. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. And we begin this morning, of course, in Texas, where a desperate search for survivors enters day 5, even as the focus begins to shift to recovery and as the number of reported deaths rises to over 100 people across 6 counties. The majority of them in Kerr County. That is where those 10 Camp Mystic campers and 1 counselor who we told you about yesterday are still missing.
Communities are coming together to hold vigils for the victims, while volunteers from across the country join the search for survivors. With so many questions about why so many people were swept away during the floods, officials are now starting to focus on the lack of alert systems. Kerr County has no siren system, despite being located in what meteorologists call Flash Flood Alley. Some local officials had said it was too expensive. Well, now state leaders are saying that needs to change.
We should have sirens up and down these flash flood alleys that we have in Texas. And if we had sirens like they have in Israel for a rocket attack, that might have saved some lives.
A flash flood warning remains in effect for parts of central Texas through Thursday, with even more rain on the way. NBC News correspondent Jay Gray joins us now from Kerrville, Texas, where dozens are still missing. Jay, good morning.
Joe, Savannah, good morning to you. And speaking to the search, the rescue, the recovery, it is still going on around the clock. Hundreds of first responders, including those in the air. We've seen before sunrise here multiple choppers scanning this area. We want to give you a firsthand look as well at some of the devastation the floodwaters left behind. The family inside this home escaped as the water and mud started to pour in. And now as this cleanup slowly starts to begin, the recovery is settling into what unfortunately is a somber and very painful rhythm here.
5 days in, and the scope, the magnitude of what's happened here is so hard to comprehend.
This is unprecedented flood events.
With unprecedented consequences. A wall of water in some areas as high as 30 feet, ravaging everything in its path. The destruction stretching for miles across central Texas. Still, the biggest loss here is not fully known.
I need to tell my community and those families who are waiting, this will be a rough week.
More than 100 are dead. That number expected to grow. Dozens still missing. Inside the Dieter Community Center, a place where seniors have gathered for more than 50 years. The water's been pushed out, equipment dried, wet carpet pulled up, and soaked sheetrock put away. The director of the facility stressing it's just a building that can be repaired. Perspective that comes quickly when you see the recovery effort unfolding just outside your door.
They have had bodies yesterday, day before yesterday, right here, and right here in my backyard.
Like so many here, she has friends who are missing, others who've lost children.
We'll never be the same. We'll never, ever forget this. It'll be close in our heart and in our mind and in our soul, but we will be strong.
A strength this community now leans on as the tragedy continues to unfold.
Yeah, it's a community that is grieving, obviously struggling with all that's been lost here. But, Joe, they now must at least start to make a turn toward what's going to be a difficult, long recovery here.
Well, Jay, that recovery is going to be difficult, and survivors will certainly need some help. What are you seeing in terms of support on the ground there?
Well, they are getting it right now. Federal and state agencies helping. You've got a lot of faith-based organizations that are in and providing food and help as well. But it's the volunteers that are pouring in, just individuals, not only from across the state, but across the country, drawn here to try and help those that are in need. This home with an elderly couple, a woman from Corpus Christi along the coast, a long way away from Central Texas, with her teenage son, some of his friends just came here to help, wanted to do anything they could, and they've cleaned out multiple homes here, helping those that are suffering try and make a step toward that recovery.
Jay Gray in Kerrville. Jay, thank you.
Well, as the search for the missing continues, questions are growing over why these Texas communities were not told to evacuate sooner. One woman told NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler that a park along the Guadalupe River was set up for a 4th of July celebration as late as Thursday night when flood watches were already in effect. It underscores just how many people were unaware of the danger that was to come.
Kerrville resident Michelle Pittman had no idea that death and destruction was coming downriver.
You know, this was something that happened that no one was prepared for.
As the urgent search continues, questions and calls for accountability grow about how many in this community were caught by such surprise.
Rest assured, no one knew this kind of flood was coming.
Many questioning why neighborhoods and camps along the Guadalupe River were not told to evacuate earlier.
Very tough to make those calls because what we also don't want to do is cry wolf.
At Camp Mystic, the Texas Lieutenant Governor says campers were awakened only by thunder and lightning, phones not allowed by camp rules. He's now pushing for state lawmakers to fund more outdoor warning sirens.
We shouldn't have lightning and thunder waking up kids. We should have those sirens. We need to go back step by step, and look at what happened and why it happened.
The National Weather Service says a flood watch at 1:18 p.m. Thursday was elevated on Friday at 1:14 a.m. to urgent flash flood warnings for Kerr County, sending emergency alerts to cell phones and weather radios. Then at 4:03 a.m., an upgrade to a flash flood emergency. But for so many, those warnings went unheard.
Obviously, most people at 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. are asleep. And so I think we will have a reasonable conversation about, are there any ways to have earlier detection?
Senator Ted Cruz defending the National Weather Service amid concerns of staffing shortages, saying Congress will act.
We did see a lot of people heroically taking kids out of harm's way, but it should have happened earlier. How we make that happen, I think, is a very reasonable discussion.
As so many still grieve, many questioning how to prevent the next disaster. Ryan Chandler, NBC News, Kerrville, Texas.
Millions are at risk for severe weather today with temps and humidity levels soaring. Time for your morning news now, weather.
Yeah, Michelle Grossman's here in studio with us with the latest. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we're going to see temperatures soaring into the 90s. You factor in the humidity. That's going to be a big piece of the puzzle. It's going to feel like the upper 90s to 108 in some spots. We have heat advisories for 54 million people along the East Coast here, from Boston to New York City, Atlantic City, down to Raleigh, and also Florence, South Carolina. We will be very hot today and also tomorrow. There's an area of high pressure pumping in that hot air. So look at all this red and orange on the map, temperatures soaring into the 90s. But you notice that box next to it, the heat index. That's what it feels like on our body, and that's what we need to dress for. So it's going to feel like the triple digits in Nashville and Knoxville. It's going to feel like 101 in Charlotte, feeling like 99 almost to 100 degrees will be the feels like temperature in New York City, and feeling like 107 in Norfolk. As we go throughout tomorrow, we're going to keep that heat in place. Temperatures all across the mid-Atlantic into the southeast, south central states into the 90s. We're looking at 93 in New Orleans, but you factor in the humidity. It will be a factor once again tomorrow. Feeling like 102. It's going to feel like 96 in D.C. It's going to feel like 100 degrees in Charleston, South Carolina. That heat's going to continue, but we're going to see improvement by the end of the week. The heat and the humidity, along with a cold front, a stationary front, will spark some showers and storms, and some of these could reach severe limits. So 38 million people impacted from New York City to Philadelphia, D.C., major hubs. So if you're flying out today, you want to call ahead and make sure that flight is on time. Salisbury, Maryland into Richmond. The hail risk is low. The tornado risk is low. Not zero, though, for either one of those. The biggest risk will be winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. Also heavy, heavy downpour. So we do have a flood threat. We're looking at Lots of rain with any of these systems. It's the tropical-like system, so we're looking at locally 5 inches. Where you see those brighter colors, that's where we're expecting the highest amounts of rain, corresponding with those colors on the legend there. So anywhere from New York City down to Raleigh and also Charlotte could see some really heavy downpours leading to flash flooding. Because of that, 47 million Americans are under flood watches, where you see the green, and that does include places like Boston, New York City, D.C., and also Atlantic City. So that's a big story today. Also want to talk about Texas. Right now, looking good. This is good news on radar. We are clear. Recovery efforts are going on right now. Helicopters are out and about, so that is good news. But I do want to mention that we do have the chance of a few pop-up thunderstorms today. Very scattered, very isolated, very difficult, though, to pinpoint. So you need to remain vigilant there. We could see some really heavy downpours with any of these thunderstorms.
All right. Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it. Over in the Middle East, it's another deadly day for Palestinians in Gaza. The Strip's director of field hospitals told NBC News at least 29 bodies have been brought in so far today as Israel continues to bombard the enclave. Our crew inside Gaza filmed the aftermath of an Israeli airstrike on a clinic in Gaza City. A 5-month-old baby was among those killed.
This is all as President Trump just had dinner with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu at the White House yesterday. Protesters were gathered nearby. They were calling for Netanyahu to be arrested. That's in reference to the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against the Israeli leader over alleged war crimes in Gaza, which he rejects. With pressure mounting for a ceasefire hostage deal, the president said it was still on course.
I don't think there is a holdup. I don't think there's a holdup. I think things are going along very well. They just, left each other, and it was not a pleasant period of a few days. It was a little longer than a few days, but this was not a pleasant period of time.
Here to talk about all this and more, NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba and NBC News International correspondent Matt Bradley. We're also joined by former NSC Director for Syria and Lebanon, Hagar Shamali. Monica, let's start with you. Talk to us about what President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu discussed when it comes to Gaza and the prospect of a ceasefire there.
Well, they indicated, Joe, that there could still be a deal as early as this week. But again, we have come to the brink so many times only for those talks to collapse. But both leaders did seem to be fairly optimistic about a short-term arrangement. And that is the real key here, that if both the U.S. and Israel and Hamas can agree to stopping the fighting for a couple of months in exchange for the release of some of the hostages that are still being held, that seems to be where there is an area of agreement. But there are still some major sticking points when it comes to anything beyond that, when it comes to a longer-term solution. And this is where we saw Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump not be able to really agree or project a lot of optimism, because there isn't an exact agreement on a two-state solution. For instance, when it comes to Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu, he wants to see the full elimination of Hamas. And so obviously ending this war permanently is a major question here. But there could be some short-term relief, again, to get some of those hostages out. And we know that those talks are continuing, and we know that for his part, the prime minister is going to be in Washington all week long to meet with key players like the vice president and with the special envoy for the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, and to continue some of these conversations even on Capitol Hill as well, to see if they can land this politically. But the two leaders really did praise a lot of each other's actions on this, and they're hopeful maybe this will get over the finish line.
Matt, one of those things I want to ask you about was we heard Netanyahu yesterday touting the president's controversial plan to relocate Palestinians out of Gaza. Human rights groups have condemned that as ethnic cleansing. But what do Palestinians and other Arab countries make of that as a plan?
Well, they have roundly rejected it as ethnic cleansing. And this is one of the things we keep hearing, is that the whole reason why this fight was beginning, the whole reason why this conflict exists is because the Israelis have been trying to push out the Palestinians from that area, from what was, the British Mandate Palestine. So this is something that is the genesis of this conflict. It's the reason why it's here, and it's one of the reasons why Palestinians don't relent when it comes to the fighting in the Gaza Strip or in the West Bank. So, and it's one of the reasons why Arab states don't necessarily, in most cases, award for places like Lebanon full citizenship to Palestinian refugees who've left, because they see them as in a process of potentially returning to what is now Israel. That hasn't happened happened for decades. So, this really goes to the heart of this conflict, and it's one of the reasons why it's not just rejected by Palestinians and human rights groups and, academics who say that this is ethnic cleansing. It's rejected by everybody who's involved who sees themselves as in favor of the Palestinian cause. So this is unlikely to get anywhere, and it's going to probably stand in the way, at least in part, with some of the Netanyahu and President Trump efforts to try to expand those Abraham Accords and possibly bring countries like Saudi Arabia on board, or maybe even Syria and Lebanon. Many of those countries, their publics are already furious at Israel for the mass killings that we've been seeing in the Gaza Strip. They're very angry, and it's going to make it hard for them to ink deals to normalize their relations with Israel.
Hagar, let's bring you in here. Monica touched on the two-state solution, and there was a moment in that meeting when the president was asked about the possibility of a two-state solution. Instead of answering, he yielded the question to Netanyahu, who said Israel should retain overall security control. Of course, the official U.S. position has always been for two states. Do you make anything of that moment? What does it tell us?
So this is the key point, as Monica mentioned. This is the key sticking point. You have, obviously, they're discussing this current ceasefire, and it seems the parties are getting close. Right now, it's with Hamas. Israel has already agreed to this ceasefire plan that would be for 60 days. And throughout those 60 days, they would discuss what would happen after. But there are a lot of details in that after period that are very difficult to come to an agreement to. For example, some of it is about two states, but we're not even close to that, to be honest with you. Who would govern Gaza is the big piece. Everybody agrees that Hamas shouldn't have any power. And by the way, they don't have the ability to govern, even if they'd like to pretend to be the governing authority. But for example, Netanyahu doesn't want the Palestinian Authority, which governs the West Bank, to govern Gaza or to have any peace in it. And so there's still that effort on the Israeli government side to keep the two separate, to prevent talks leading to a two-state solution. Whereas Trump, ultimately, he wants to see a solution, wants to see a permanent end to the war, and then hopefully something that leads to a two-state solution. It's really the European states where you're seeing this pressure for two states, but it's very tenuous. I don't think they'll get that far, but hopefully discussions toward a permanent end to the war.
All right, Hagar, Matt, and Monica, a lot to talk about this morning. Thank you all for joining us.
Now let's get to the economy. Wall Street is looking to rebound today following a sell-off to start the week after President Trump threatened trading partners with new higher tariffs.
The Dow Jones finished the day yesterday down more than 400 points. The S&P and NASDAQ also finished in the red. It was the worst day for the stock market since mid-June. The president announced yesterday several countries will face steep tariffs starting August 1st. Mr. Trump later signed an executive order delaying Wednesday's deadline for countries to renegotiate tariff levels. That new date, also August 1st.
We have NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung here in studio with us with the latest. Brian, good morning. So we have seen this many times. We have had this discussion many times, how the market reacts to these changes from the president, like that sell-off yesterday. Do we continue to see that today, or is there any world where the market starts to kind of adapt to these ups and downs and we see less of such a dramatic change within the market?
Yeah, well, as you pointed out, yesterday was not a good day on Wall Street with the Dow Jones down about 1%. This is a pretty, notable performance given that the stock market had been doing relatively well over the 4 or 5 weeks prior to that. But as a reminder, if we zoom out over year to date, it has been a roller coaster ride for the stock market. The Dow Jones is up about 4% year to date, but you have to remember how we got there. We were down something like 10% on the year when the president first announced these so-called reciprocal tariffs in the first week of April. So it seems like despite the headlines continuing on an hourly basis on tariffs, well, the stock market has still basically recovered all those massive losses from earlier this spring. And I do think that even despite some of these letters going out and the concern that this new August 1 deadline could come with higher tariffs at that point in time, I think investors are a little bit more numb to it than they were a few months ago. But of course, if I knew what the stock market was going to do, I'd be working about 4 miles south of here.
Yeah, no kidding. When we talk about who received those letters, Japan and South Korea were on that list. What should we read why that is, and just what does come next?
Yeah, and the president posted the letters that he sent to those countries on Truth Social in full. Japan and South Korea were first, announcing a 25% tariff effective August 1st. But there were a number of other countries that he posted letters for in the hours afterwards, including Indonesia, Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Serbia, Cambodia, Laos. These are countries that aren't even major trading partners in some cases. South Korea and Japan, we do significantly more trade with. The letters are basically identical in language. The only change between them is the tariff rate. So again, 25% for Japan and South Korea, basically in line with what the president had announced on that big poster board in the Rose Garden that first week of April. For other countries, a little bit higher, like Laos, for example, at 40%. That was interesting because the poster board said 48%. So the numbers are a little bit different here. But again, what that means is just a few extra weeks of negotiating because, yes, July 9th was the 90-day expiry date for that temporary pause, but the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, saying yesterday the president would be signing an executive order that would extend that to August 1st. It basically means more time for these countries to negotiate.
Let's also talk, Brian, about the U.S. dollar showing this sharp decline this year. 11% it's tumbled through June. That makes it the worst first half of the year for the dollar since 1973. Walk us through this. What are the reasons here?
Yeah, and by the way, the comparison of 1973 was when the entire dollar regime changed because we were no longer pegging it to gold. So that is not a good comparison.
Right.
But the big story for why the dollar has weakened, I think, is because of concerns over the deficit, the ballooning debt here in the United States, which has some investors maybe going to non-dollar denominated assets to try to seek a little bit more safety. But I think the overall story here, too, is that the president actually would prefer a weaker dollar because that makes it cheaper for other countries to buy American goods. That's the kind of MO of all of this policy, is to try to get other countries to buy more American products. But yes, certainly the dollar being weaker is also bad for American tourists that are going abroad. Yep. Speaking personally, I was in Asia, and it was 7 to 8% more expensive than it was at the beginning of the year.
It was better a few months ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you're going abroad a few days from now. So.
Exactly. All right.
Yep. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. A group of leading medical organizations is suing Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services. They're focused on recent COVID-19 vaccine changes, saying the Trump administration is undermining vaccine confidence.
The lawsuit argues that the administration's policy of recommending that pregnant women and healthy children should not receive the COVID-19 vaccine poses an imminent threat to public health.
For more on this, let's bring in NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos. Danny, good morning. So this lawsuit's been filed by groups including the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Physicians, and the American Public Health Association. These groups aren't asking for money. Tell us what they are asking for.
No, they're not asking for money. They're essentially looking to vacate this decision by the secretary. And they're arguing essentially a common claim, which is called the Administrative Procedure Act. And essentially, they're arguing that however the agency arrived at this final decision, and it must be a final decision, that's one of the elements, they did so without the proper procedures. Generally, as a rule of thumb, there are a lot of defenses to this because there's so much discretion in the agency to make these decisions. But the argument is essentially not that you didn't have the power, agency, to make this decision. It's that you didn't show your work in the right way. These are very difficult lawsuits to win.
Danny, as well as these organizations, one of the plaintiffs is an unnamed woman who's pregnant and wants to get the COVID vaccine. Walk us through, like, the power of that. Well, having an actual person who says that they were actually impacted by these recommendations help this case?
Yeah, I believe it could be a physician who is also pregnant. And this is, to me, an example of how you try to choose your plaintiffs in a way that you can secure standing. Sure, you have the organizations, but the court may conclude that these organizations, their interest in the outcome is too remote for some reason. So you add a plaintiff, somebody who is an actual, boots on the ground, somebody who wants to benefit from or will be harmed by this policy. And then you can say, well, if you say the agencies don't have any power or standing to bring this case, here's a plaintiff who this directly affects. She's pregnant. This is important to her, and she would be affected by the outcome. She has a stake in the outcome. And that's sort of how you insulate your lawsuit against claims that the plaintiffs don't have standing. You often see this sort of diversity in the kinds of plaintiffs so that you can cover all your bases and argue someone in this group has a concrete interest in the outcome.
So overall, what will the plaintiffs have to prove for this lawsuit to succeed? And could this open the door for future legal action from people who claim they were harmed by this administration's health policies?
A claim under the Administrative Procedure Act argues that the agency didn't follow the proper process in arriving at its final determination. So right away, you can think of some of the obvious defenses that jump out. What if they claim they did follow the proper procedure? Or it may be a situation as a defense where the agency has the discretion to make whatever decision they want, and their determination that they followed the proper procedure could be enough. So this is a very uphill battle for these plaintiffs because the legislation gives the agency so much power to make these determinations. These are tough cases to win.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. We should note that neither the CDC nor HHS have publicly commented on the suit, but the HHS has said that the decision to receive the COVID vaccine should be made after consulting your doctor.
Well, we have a lot more to get to this morning, including new developments in the showdown between the Dalai Lama and Beijing. But it all has to do with reincarnation.
Up first, a deadly standoff at a border patrol station. What we've learned about the moments a man started shooting at agents next. There are a lot of questions this morning after dozens of federal officers and National Guard troops gathered in a mostly empty park in a part of Los Angeles with a large immigrant population. We're going to show you the scene in MacArthur Park yesterday. Federal defense officials said the immigration enforcement operation involved about 90 members of the California National Guard. The agents left the area after about an hour as a small crowd grew in size. Some people walked behind the armored vehicles as those vehicles moved slowly out of the neighborhood. Federal officials did not respond to requests for comment about why the park was targeted, but local officials said the goal seemed to be to sow fear. The law enforcement activity comes after weeks of operations in Los Angeles that led to high-profile protests in the downtown area.
An investigation is underway in South Texas this morning after an armed suspect opened fire at the entrance of a border facility yesterday. At least one officer was injured in the incident. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park has the details.
A Border Patrol facility in McAllen, Texas on high alert after a shooter armed with a rifle opened fire.
We received a call in McAllen PD at about 5:50 of a person basically assaulting and attacking the federal building.
Officials say federal agents fired back and helped neutralize the shooter. During the deadly exchange, the McAllen police chief saying an officer was injured.
There were many dozens of rounds fired by the suspect towards the building and towards agents in that building.
Authorities identifying the suspect as 27-year-old Ryan Lewis Mosqueda, who they say had other weapons and more ammunition. The police chief said Mosqueda was reported missing near McAllen, later arriving in a vehicle with Michigan license plates, which also displayed a spray-painted Latin phrase, Cordis Die, or Day of the Heart.
When someone drives onto a parking lot and opens fire, there is some premeditation involved, as far as I'm concerned.
Near McAllen, Weslaco police say they stopped Mosqueda's father for a traffic violation just before 4 a.m., who claimed his son, Ryan Mosqueda, was missing and had a mental deficiency. Police say no documentation was provided to support that claim. His father also telling authorities Ryan Mosqueda had weapons in his vehicle. Officials assuring the public there's no longer an active threat, but growing questions about the suspect's possible motive and if anyone else may have been involved in the attack. Kathy Park, NBC News.
Now to Indonesia, where a volcano has erupted for a second day, spewing ash and lava, blanketing nearby villages.
Matt Bodner joins us now with that and more world news in 60 seconds. Good morning, Matt.
Savannah, Joe, good morning. Indonesia is now experiencing day 2 of this eruption from a local volcano, forcing residents in the south central part of the country to wear masks as protection from thick volcanic ash that is blanketing roads and rice fields. The volcano erupted again at dawn, sending lava in clouds of ash some 2.4 miles into the sky. The first eruption took place on Monday about midday, and that eruption was stronger, sending debris 11 miles into the air and also sending lava flying 8 miles up. No casualties have so far been reported. Moving along now to Kenya, where local police fired on protesters to disperse them at a gathering marking 35 years of pro-democracy rallies in Kenya. Police say 11 people were killed across the nation in these latest anti-government protests. The latest round of protests were fueled by the death of an opposition blogger in police custody. Police have used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the crowds, and human rights groups have said that plainclothes officers have also taken part in the effort. Last year, there were allegations that plainclothes police fired live rounds. We'll wrap up this hour right here in the UK. Parliament has moved to amend the Employment Rights Bill so as to ban employers from using non-disclosure agreements to prevent workers from speaking publicly about allegations of harassment or discrimination. There have been a variety of examples of this in the UK. Most recently, the former owner of Harrods was accused of using NDAs to silence women who accused him of rape and abuse. The amendment is expected to go into law later this year. Back to you guys.
All right, Matt, thank you so much.
The Dalai Lama turned 90 years old over the weekend, reigniting questions over who will succeed him. China says it has already identified who's next in line, but the Tibetan religious leader himself insists that Beijing will have no role in that process. NBC's Janice Mackey-Freyer explains.
For years, the question has lingered around the 14th Dalai Lama about what happens after his death. Whether the spiritual leader would even have a successor, and importantly, who will decide it. Followers of Tibetan Buddhism have been anxious to hear his crucial truth. In a video message in India, where he's lived in exile since 1959, the Dalai Lama declared that they will have another leader. I am affirming that the institution of the Dalai Lama will continue, he said, saying the trust he founded has the sole authority to recognize the future reincarnation. That last part about authority was more of a message to China, which has been locked in a long and bitter feud over control of the Dalai Lama's replacement. Rebirth is a core belief of Tibetan Buddhism. But this Dalai Lama is also an icon of a struggle among Tibetans for greater political freedom under Chinese rule.
Essentially, there's a lot of fragility, sensitivity, and vulnerability with regards to the historical narrative that China wants to sort of put forward in the context of its rule over Tibet.
China annexed Tibet in 1951, when the Dalai Lama was 16 years old. In 1959, after a failed uprising, he went into exile in India. The Tibet Autonomous Region, or Shizan, as it's now called in China, is known as the roof of the world, a place of mountains and monasteries popular with Chinese tourists, though international tourists are restricted, and foreign journalists can't travel freely to the region. These images were gathered by NBC News on a government-organized trip. Over the years, Beijing has ramped up security and invested heavily in roads, rail lines, and industries. Mandarin, not Tibetan, is taught as the main language in schools. Versions of Tibetan culture are in accordance with the rules. Religious traditions centuries old are regulated by the officially atheist state. And the Dalai Lama's address that was seen around the world was censored here in China. Tibetan Buddhism was born in China and has Chinese characteristics, said a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, adding Beijing will manage and approve who the next Dalai Lama will be. For all the mystery about what comes next, one thing the current Dalai Lama has made clear is that his successor will be born in a free country. The Chinese government has no right and role in the process, says this Tibetan religious leader. After His Holiness's demise, there will be a void which will be difficult for us. Few figures in modern history can claim the global reach of the Dalai Lama. Describing himself as a simple Buddhist monk, yet for Tibetan followers, he is the living symbol of a cultural existence they fear is being eroded and lost.
We seeking genuine autonomy, not seeking independence.
China sees it differently. They call him a wolf in sheep's clothing and have worked to discredit him. Images of the Dalai Lama are banned. China's leader Xi Jinping met with the Panchen Lama, who was chosen and cultivated by China's government. An important figure in Tibetan Buddhism, he vowed to, quote, take the lead in obeying the law, according to state media, and pledged his loyalty to the party. For now, the Dalai Lama is preparing his followers for a world without him and digging in for a final showdown with Beijing over the future and who will shape it. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
This morning, we are continuing to follow the heartbreak in the Texas Hill Country.
That's right. And for our own Morgan Chesky, It is a story that's personal. He's going to join us next. We are back now with an update on the deadly flooding in central Texas. The search and rescue missions continue today, but with each passing hour, that effort moves closer toward recovery. More than 100 people have died across 6 counties, and dozens more remain missing.
That includes those 10 girls and a counselor from Camp Mystic in Kerr County. Texas Senator Ted Cruz returned from his vacation in Greece Sunday night to help assist the families.
There are 11 sets of parents that are right now not knowing if their little girl is still alive or dead. That is, it's unspeakable. And you try to connect them with the sheriff, connect them with first responders. It's been several days. So as the days go on, the chances of finding survivors, we all know, goes down. But you always have hope and you have prayers.
Senator Cruz says the death toll will likely continue to rise. Local officials are pledging to push the state legislature to allocate more funds for flood warning systems, including sirens, after many people reported they were awakened by the sounds of thunder and lightning. Flash flood warnings are still in effect for parts of central Texas through Thursday, and President Trump said he plans to visit the state on Friday.
Well, one of our own, our friend and colleague Morgan Chesky, grew up in the Kerrville community that's been devastated by these floods. His mother and stepfather were home when waters quickly rose right outside their front door. Luckily, they are okay, and they can look back at their experience during those scary moments and share them with us. Morgan Chesky has more details of his own personal story.
I feel really glad to have both of y'all here right now.
Growing up in Kerrville, Texas, where the waters of the Guadalupe always offered a cool escape, I was excited when my mom Karen and stepdad Michael retired on its banks.
We love this river. We love being on the river. We've had grandkids play in this river, and it's just been very shocking.
Shocking because in the early hours of Friday morning, our beloved river turned into something else entirely. My mom waking up to a weather alert at 4 a.m. and pounding rain.
We could see that the water was about 5 feet from the street level.
I'm beating on the RV.
Michael wading through water to alert families in neighboring RVs.
I'm telling them the river's out of the bank. Get up, get up. And fortunately, they all woke up and we didn't have a loss of life. They got out.
My mom in the kitchen when she heard the river roar.
Then by the time we left, it was up right about here.
My mom telling me the river rose 30 feet in less than an hour. It was then they were forced to evacuate, not knowing what they would return to. For Michael, coming home brought relief that the house was still there. But it's what he saw next that'll stay with him.
It became real to me when we found the first body, a young girl. And it was just... it just froze me. I can wrap my mind around it.
The entire community is reeling right now. I think we're all stunned and shocked that this happened here.
With so much tragedy around these waters, my family knows how lucky we are as friends face an unimaginable loss.
We're fine.
Glad you guys are okay.
Yeah, thank you, babe.
Thanks for texting me. You're okay.
Yeah.
You came here for the view. Now this.
Yeah, it's been altered, but I have faith that it will grow back and be as beautiful as it was.
Yeah, Savannah, being here over the last 5 days has been nothing short of surreal. There is an incredible amount of grief, collective pain that you can absolutely feel across this entire community and up and down the banks of this river. That said, what struck me has been the grit that has come following that. There is a sense of determination here, despite the uncertainty of this ongoing search and rescue effort. The folks here that I've spoken to tell me that, they're always aware of the power that this river possesses. This has certainly rewritten the rules to some degree, but this is also home. And we have seen supplies pouring in, and that's certainly been very heartening to those that have been personally impacted by this. Again, my family knows how lucky we are considering the circumstances here. It will be a long road ahead, but everyone is confident that they're taking that road one step at a time here. Savannah.
Morgan Chesky, thank you so much for sharing your family with us, your personal story. Just incredible reporting every second that you've been on the ground. We appreciate it. We're thinking of you.
As the name suggests, a flash flood gives you very little time to respond. So we want to take a moment to provide some critical information about what to do if you are quickly faced with dangerous flash flooding. We asked a couple experts to share some important tips. Julie Munger, who has trained swiftwater rescue teams for 4 decades, and David Markinson, a pediatric emergency physician and former chair of the American Red Cross Science Advisory Council.
When you're thinking about dealing with a flood at home, the most important part is the pre-planning and getting away from the rising floodwaters as early as possible.
Plan for where the high point is if you have to go to it. Key thing is to get out and not be concerned with your possessions. No matter how priceless they are, no possession is as priceless as you and your family.
If you're in a house or a building when the floods start, you want to get to the highest story possible without getting trapped in an attic.
Highest point in your home. Again, don't grab possessions, but grab a communication device.
Getting onto the roof would be critical because that's a place where helicopters or rescuers can see you. Wearing bright clothes if you have the opportunity. You want to be able to be seen if you're at the position where you're escaping a house and getting onto a roof. If you're trying to get out of a window in a house using a chair or a shovel or any kind of other thing besides your physical body is going to help prevent injuries.
Key is to use an implement that is designed for it. There are actually punches that people can keep for a car window or another window for an emergency.
If you are caught in a car during a flood and your car is being lifted, you want to roll down the windows as soon as possible. Ideally, you'd rather have the car fill with water so it becomes more like a rock instead of just a bobbing object floating downstream, and get up on top of the roof. And then stay as flat as possible so you don't get knocked off the car.
Water will always win against the car. Never, never, never assume the car will get through it and be fine. Don't drown, turn around, head away from the problem. Get out of the car, leave your possessions, protect yourself. Don't be complacent. Plan and listen to warnings. Even if it's the 20th warning you've heard, that may be the one where there's the real problem. Always take them seriously.
Really, really, really good tips there. Well, coming up, AI chatbots are becoming a more and more prominent feature in day-to-day life for many Americans.
But new research finds that can cause problems for the mental health of younger users. How some companies are now working to try and get ahead of the issue. That's next.
We are back now with your weekly mental health check-in. Today, we're looking at a new study that matches your personality with a type of workout that suits you best.
We're also looking at concerns that some people are becoming addicted to AI chatbots and experiencing mental health problems after using the tech.
For more on this, let's bring in Dr. Robbie Ludwig. She is a psychotherapist and host of a new YouTube series. It's called The Pivot with Dr. Robbie Ludwig. Congrats on that, Dr. Ludwig. Always great to have you with us. Good morning. So we've talked a lot about using artificial intelligence in therapy, but there are these growing reports of people becoming addicted to using these chatbots or having mental health crises based on sort of their relationship with them. What should we know, and what are these companies doing, if anything, to get ahead of the issue?
Well, we know that AI can be problematic for anyone, but especially for teens and young kids. And the concern is there's an unhealthy relationship that kids or teens are developing with AI chatbots that may be replacing real relationships, causing social isolation and withdrawal, in some cases causing financial abuse as well, and mental health issues. So the companies are hiring forensic psychologists to do a deeper dive into the issues with the chat boxes and to see if there's anything they can do, like warning labels, to help parents and kids be less sucked into the problematic issues that they can have as a result of these connections.
Human connection, so important every single day. It seems more and more important. All right, speaking of which, let's talk about something to help people get motivated to exercise. A study out today tried to match people's personalities to different types of exercise. For example, this makes sense. Extroverts prefer classes with other people. What else did researchers find?
Yeah, so this is really interesting. They looked at the 5 basic personality types, whether you're neurotic, conscientious, and they found that neurotic types liked something that was regular and solo, and conscientious types really liked something that was consistent. And basically, the idea is not all exercises are for everyone. And it's really important to include regular exercise into one's life for one's mental health and physical well-being. So this idea is saying, hey, maybe we can match the right type of exercise based on personality to increase the likelihood that people will engage in regular activity in their lives.
Okay, this last one's kind of fun. Quickly, if you're trying to maybe thinking about doing a new hobby this summer, we have some new advice about activities that could actually help your mental health. What types of hobbies kind of have that big benefit?
So we see that hobbies are a great stress reducer, and they found that journaling, cooking, art and music, strategy games, and exercising in nature were all really healthy in terms of making people feel accomplished, good about themselves, reducing stress, and just more engaged in life. So it's a wonderful enhancement to our mental well-being and working on those issues.
Love it. Dr. Robbie, great to have you. Thank you so much.
Let's get to some financial headlines. Looks like Elon Musk's AI chatbot got an update over the weekend, and it's raising some eyebrows.
CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money news. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Yeah, so Grok, that's that chatbot developed by Elon Musk's XAI startup, got a new update this weekend, but it appears it's now a bit more politically incorrect. XAI adding new lines to Grok's publicly posted system prompts, which directs its responses. Now, several deal with how Grok should treat media reports, assuming subjective viewpoints are biased. But users testing the chatbot are finding it's taking stances or using a voice more aligned with right-wing figures, pulling back on nuanced language about minorities and discrimination. Meanwhile, ChatGPT is testing a new feature called Study Together. So TechCrunch reports some subscribers say this new tool has appeared in their drop-down list. Now, the mode appears to be ChatGPT's way of being a better educational tool. So instead of just providing answers to a user's prompt, some say that it asks questions requiring the human to answer. OpenAI hasn't responded to TechCrunch's request for comment. And Netflix and New Era are teaming up on a new headwear collection featuring 6 designs. It includes Stranger Things and Squid Game themed caps, as well as 2 plain Netflix branded hats. Now, the collection is available starting today through New Era's online store, ranging in price from $31.99 for adjustable caps to $47.99 for fitted ones, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much.
Interesting. Thanks.
Coming up, get ready to dive into the pool.
After the break, we'll introduce you to the swim team that's making waves and defying expectations, one race at a time.
Welcome back. An all-black swim team in Missouri is shattering racial barriers that have existed in their sport for generations. A 2022 study revealed that less than half of black children get swimming lessons, compared with 72% of white children.
And drowning rates are significantly higher among black children. The team's coach said that's just one reason why she starts training them before they can even walk. Reporter Sydney Stallworth from our St. Louis affiliate has more.
So some of the meets, we're the only black swim team in our region, actually.
A team of talented, young black swimmers. OFPY Mako swim team takes to the water to prepare to take to the victor's stand.
We came in second place in our regional championships.
Stroking to success in a sport where many of the other athletes don't look like them.
They just ignore it, and they just get in that water and ready to compete.
And compete they do. Even the Mako's youngest competing member, 6-year-old Eliana.
I had to do backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. and then I beat all the kids and all of them, and I got in first place. And then I also had a relay, but then our team also got first place.
She's already competing against kids almost twice her age, excelling in the water. Mako's head coach, Coach T.
I want good underwater, good long underwater.
Starts teaching kids to swim before they can walk.
We try to start them as young as possible. I got a 6-month, well, I started him at 6. He just turned 1, but he swims out to me.
Because scary statistics lurk just beneath the surface.
4 and under is number 1. Their number 1 death is drowning.
And the facts are even more frightening for black children. The CDC reports black children ages 10 to 14 drown almost 8 times more likely than white children. But these kids are defying the odds.
If you swim, you get better and better and stronger.
On a team where fitness is just as important as your freestyle.
You have 8 seconds. Strong body, strong core, strong legs, strong swimmers.
And life lessons help these swimmers learn much more than to simply stay afloat.
At swim meets, sometimes I get scared, and that's why I need to be brave enough to get off the diving board and be brave to swim.
And if they ever forget it, Coach T is right there to remind them.
Fly. Hey, Mako! Yeah? What we come to do?
Fall back to attack the pressure that set us free.
What they gonna eat?
The ball coming from our feet.
1, 2, 3.
Go Makos!
Mixing swim and cheer there. I love it. Our thanks to KSDK's Sydney Stallworth for that report.
What an incredible coach.
No kidding. That is going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning, and thank you for starting your Tuesday with us. I'm Savannah Sellers.
I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, death toll rising, more than 100 lives taken by those devastating hill country floods in Texas. At Camp Mystic, dozens of campers and counselors among the dead and still missing. We're on the ground with harrowing stories of survival as a stark new reality sets in for communities shattered by Mother Nature. In Washington, a critical 90-day tariff deadline initially set for tomorrow, now delayed by the White House. President Trump shifting the goalposts, opting to wait a few more weeks before imposing fresh tax hikes on goods from more than a dozen countries. It all comes as the commander-in-chief sits down with Israel's prime minister amid growing calls for a ceasefire in both Iran and Gaza. We are covering it all. Plus, a bombshell new report from the Trump Justice Department that's shining a light on the final moments of Jeffrey Epstein's life. The shocking revelations over Epstein's alleged client list that now have some folks on the far right pressing the nation's top lawyer to step aside. And later in the hour, we're answering the call for a different kind of jury duty, the new courtroom experience that's got some eagle-eyed legal lovers paying up to put the gavel down. Begin this hour with the latest on the flooding in the Texas Hill Country, where communities are just starting to take in the scale of this tragedy.
The search for survivors continues today, even as the focus begins to shift now toward recovery and accountability.
I need to tell my community and those families who are waiting, this will be a rough week. Primary search continues, and we remain hopeful every foot, every mile, every bend of the river.
At least 104 people are dead across the region, and officials say they expect that number to rise as the search for dozens of missing people enters its 5th day. Still, rescue teams are not giving up hope of finding survivors. NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky grew up in the area. He's been reporting from the ground in Kerrville. He has more for us. Morgan, good morning.
Yeah, Savannah, Joe, hard to believe we are now entering day 5 following this unimaginable tragedy. And if there is any silver lining at all, it's the fact that weather conditions are finally cooperating to allow search and rescue crews to really dig into this river, making their way up and down as they continue the search for those still unaccounted for. In the meantime, there is an unknown number missing, with so many people converging on Kerrville during a holiday weekend, and that is hanging heavy over this entire community.
Overnight, the Lone Star State coming together. with vigils honoring the more than 100 lives lost in those devastating floods. In Houston, remembering the victims at Camp Mystic, 27 of its campers and counselors among the dead and missing, as the difficult and desperate search for those still unaccounted for goes on throughout the Texas Hill Country. Officials say with countless visiting families celebrating the 4th of July weekend in Riverside cabins, campsites, and RVs, the number of missing is still unknown.
We don't know everybody who was here, so we don't know everybody who's missing.
As the scale of the devastation comes into focus, 13-year-old Blair Harbor and her 11-year-old sister Brooke were spending the holiday in a cabin with their parents and grandparents. Their bodies were found 15 miles downriver together, a powerful symbol of their lasting bond, their school wrote. The bond also clear among the Camp Mystic girls, footage showing happier times at the camp. Now the institution devastated, belongings piled outside cabins. Among the lost, Hannah and Rebecca Lawrence, twin sisters who had just finished the 2nd grade. Some still missing, including Kellyanne Lytall. Her father, Wade, sharing this touching video of his daughter performing in a Christmas pageant. But stories of heroism from the staff emerging.
The counselors pulled the girls out one by one of the water, and they started the climb up that mountain with no shoes, in their pajamas.
Some like Mary Latham Bowles, keeping the children calm, her mother Alexis says.
It was just devastation, and it was difficult for those counselors to, stay strong.
At nearby Camp La Junta, counselors also pitching in. 11-year-old Kaylin Cubana says he saw whole cabins floating away.
Counselors, they were amazing during this. It risked their lives for us, and I think everybody should be grateful for that.
Many in this Central Texas community now saying they'll hold each other up. A message echoed by my own mom and stepdad.
I grew up with hill country floods almost, every year of my life, seems like. But this one was different.
After evacuating, they returned home to find their house still standing amid such heartbreaking loss.
And we're still awaiting further details on President Trump's trip to Kerr County, which is tentatively slated for Friday. In the meantime, one of the largest tasks facing everyone here are these massive debris piles that really line this river for mile after mile. I spoke to a gentleman who was one of the first on the scene here once the river finally receded after the flood. He says as you made your way past this debris pile, you could see RVs and cars tangled within that debris. But you could also hear cell phones still ringing. Guys.
All right, Morgan Chesky, thank you so much. Incredible reporting.
We want to bring in Melissa and Russell Offering. They are spreading the word about a dear friend of theirs who went missing after the flood in Kerrville. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. Russell, I am so sorry for what you are going through. Just start off by telling us about your friend. His name is Bill Houston. This is someone I know you've been friends with for more than 40 years. I understand his dog, Sage's body, was found recently, but Bill himself, there he is, still unaccounted for. Where was he when the floods hit?
So Bill and I have been friends for nearly 40 years. We were in the Navy together, and then for about 6 years, and then just ever since then. And we've reconnected and hung out together. We'd go do, shootings. He was actually the officiant at our wedding, as you can see there. And there's his dog, Sage. And poor Sage was found about 7 miles down, about 20 feet up in a tree the next day. And they recovered her body and were able to identify her with the chip in her ear, which Melissa was able to track down the veterinarian and then the breeder that had where Bill had got Sage from. And so they were able to track down and verify that that really was her, because, she was pretty muddy and pretty beat up, and her collar had come off. Last time anybody saw Bill, he was at an RV park that we stayed at just the weekend before the 4th. We were down there with him in one of the cabins, and his RV was parked right there next to the river, probably about 10, 12 feet above the water line at that point and backed right up to the river. So he was at the hardest part that was hit there in Ingram at a campground. And unfortunately, no one's seen him yet. There was one report of a lady and her daughters might have seen him there at the entrance to the camp. That's, a possibility, but we know Sage didn't make it. And unfortunately, as time goes on, we're getting more and more concerned about Bill, of course. And it's it's really devastating. He's just been a dear friend for a long, long time.
Oh, and these pictures that you've shared, just especially the one officiating your wedding, they're so special. What's this process been like, working with authorities, working with people on the ground to try to understand how to even go about this search and rescue process? What has it been like? What else have you been doing to try to either get the word out or find him?
Well, I got to brag on Melissa here. You have a friend and you think you know them, but you really, when something like this happens, you realize how little of their background you may actually know. And so she's done a really great job of being a PI and has tracked down family members, friends, co-workers, the people that he worked for. And he was a superintendent at a construction site. That's why he lives in an RV. He travels around the country doing that. And she was able to create a Facebook group and page that got the word out, and people have just come out from everywhere saying, oh, I know Bill from 5 years ago. I know Bill from 10 years ago. And how's he doing and where's he at? And then we have the local people down there that she has registered his name with and his vital statistics so that they could possibly identify him if he was in a hospital or otherwise. But go ahead.
Melissa, what do you want people to know?
We want to know that we really appreciate all the people and all the efforts that are the boots on the ground in Kerr County, in Ingram, in Kerrville, the people that have reached out, that have taken time from their daily lives, the first responders. We want to let them know we very much appreciate them and all of their efforts. And we're not giving up hope for recovery for not just Bill, but for everyone. The silence in between the chaos is probably the worst part, the not knowing, but we are still holding on hope.
We are also holding on hope for both of you, Melissa and Russell. We appreciate your time. We are thinking of Bill. Please continue to keep us updated on the search efforts and let us know if we can help out in any way.
Thank you so much.
Just getting the word out there. And again, thank you to all the people that are on the ground down there helping out. That's it's an amazing thing. We're not local down there, so it's a big deal for us that we're getting that information in.
Absolutely. Powerful message you both have. Incredible work you're doing for your friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And people in central North Carolina also cleaning up from major flooding that washed away roads and damaged homes and businesses. Emergency crews in Durham had to rescue at least 80 people from their homes because of the fast-moving floodwaters. This was dumped by Tropical Depression Chantal. Meanwhile, the receding floodwaters are blanketing several communities with debris and thick layers of mud.
Things falling off the walls, the paint's peeling. It already smells like sewage.
The shoe store is a disaster, and look at the parking lot. Some cars that look like they've been tossed in the water.
And the National Weather Service says at least 4 tornadoes touched down as part of the storm.
Let's get a closer look at what to expect from today's forecast with your Morning News Now weather.
Michelle Grossman is with us with the latest here. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning. And unfortunately, we're looking at more flooding in spots. One of those spots would be from the mid-Atlantic to the Carolinas up to New England. We have ample moisture. We're going to see showers and storms that could drop a lot of rain. It's all due to the heat and humidity sparking some storms along with that stationary front that's sort of in place there, triggering any of these storms. So that's going to be the case today. Also tomorrow. Notice all this green, though, on the map. It's not just just the East Coast. It's down to the Gulf Coast states, up to portions of the Great Lakes, the upper Midwest. And then, yes, we are looking at Texas. We are drier than where we were yesterday. There is not a flood watch in place right now. That was dropped yesterday. But we do have the chance of seeing some very isolated, scattered thunderstorms that could drop a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So you just need to remain vigilant, or people need to remain vigilant in that area today. Further to the west, we are looking at sizzling heat in portions of the southwest. Temperatures near 112 in Tucson, near 108 in Phoenix. Then we're looking at fire risk in parts of the Intermountain West. It's going to be hot there, too. Speaking of heat, we're looking at 54 million Americans from Boston to New York City, Atlantic City, Norfolk, down to Florence, South Carolina, under heat advisories. That's because we'll see highs in the low to mid 90s. The big piece of the puzzle, though, we're going to factor in the humidity. So it's going to feel like the upper 90s to 108 in spots. That is the temperature you need to prepare for and dress for if you're outside. So take those breaks inside, be in air conditioning if you can, lots of hydration. Temperatures into the 90s in a lot of spots. We're looking at Roanoke, 93. But notice that box next to it. It's going to feel like 98 degrees, feeling like the triple digits in Nashville, Knoxville, also New Bern. We're going to feel like 99 degrees in New York City. You can feel that heat and humidity already in so many places, feeling like 104 in Charleston, South Carolina. It's hot today. It's steamy, and we're going to keep that in place once again tomorrow. Lots of 90s across the southeast into the northeast also. Houston, 93. It's going to feel like 100 degrees. It's going to feel like 96 in D.C. It will feel like 100 degrees in Charleston, South Carolina once again. Those summer highs do continue, but we're going to see some relief, especially in New York City by Thursday, back to the 80s and into the 80s in Cleveland on Thursday and Friday, 91 by Saturday. So a little relief is on the way by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Again, those the heat and humidity will spark some storms along with that stationary front. So we're looking at severe risk from Virginia all the way to Long Island. Localized flash flooding is likely. You need to kind of heed all those warnings that may come out later with the storms that are dropping a lot of rain. By Wednesday, heavy rain from the southeast to the mid-Atlantic, scattered to widespread storms. So this stays in place. We stay very soupy over the next several days, and millions are under the risk for severe weather. 38 million from New York City to Philadelphia, D.C., major hubs in terms of the airlines. You want to call ahead if you are flying out. And the major risk here will be the heavy rainfall and also the winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. The hail risk is low. The tornado risk is low, but it's not zero. So you still need to pay attention as we head throughout at least the later part of today.
All right. Thank you for the info, Michelle.
Sure.
All right. President Trump is once again threatening trade partners with higher tariffs, but they won't kick in this week. He's sending letters to leaders from more than a dozen countries indicating the U.S. would raise tariffs on their goods if a trade deal isn't reached by August 1st. It was a busy day for President Trump, who also met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House and pushed to restart peace talks between Israel and Iran. NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Haake joins us from Washington with the latest. Garrett, good morning.
Joe, when President Trump paused his so-called reciprocal tariffs all the way back in April, White House advisors said the delay would lead to 90 trade deals in 90 days. But now with just one day to go until the White House's self-imposed deadline, there are no complete deals, just 3 partial frameworks. And the president is shifting course with a new tactic and a new deadline.
Overnight, President Trump declaring that the window for countries to negotiate new trade deals with the U.S. to avoid an economy-rattling spike in tariffs is all but closed.
If you want to play ball, you have to. This is what you have to pay. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're done.
With one day remaining before the 90-day deadline the president set for countries to strike trade deals or face a return to higher so-called reciprocal tariffs, the president now opting to set some new rates with the stroke of his pen.
We'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're going to send a letter.
Trump posting some letters online Monday, unilaterally raising import tax rates on goods from 14 countries, using a legal authority currently facing court challenges. 40% on Laos, 30% on South Africa, as well as a 25% tariff on major exporters, South Korea and Japan. But will these rates be final?
I would say final, but if they call with a different offer and if I like it, we'll do it.
The new rates are set to take effect August 1st, a deadline the president conceded isn't set in stone.
I would say firm, but not 100% firm.
Trump also speaking to reporters Monday night alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The leaders' first meeting since the U.S. joined Israel's war against Iran, bombing 3 Iranian nuclear sites, then helping to forge a ceasefire. The president asked if he believes the war is truly over.
I hope it's over. Yeah, I think Iran wants to meet. I think they want to make peace, and I'm all for it. Now, if that's not the case, we are ready, willing, and able. But I don't think we're going to have to be.
The president also making news on another conflict overnight, Russia's war in Ukraine. And Trump told reporters the U.S. would resume shipments of some, mostly defensive weapons to Ukraine after the Pentagon had ordered a pause just last week. The president has been publicly frustrated with just how little progress he's made with Russia's President Putin on ending a war that Trump had vowed to bring to a close on day one of his presidency. Joe?
All right, Garrett, thank you.
Let's now bring in Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver. Caleb, good morning. So we just heard there the president sends these letters, more than a dozen countries threatening these new higher tariffs. How much of a surprise was that move, and what could happen next?
I think anything is not a surprise anymore because we really haven't had firm policy put in place, and these deadlines have not been respected or they've been pushed out. So is the next deadline the one we need to focus on? We were all focused on Wednesday, tomorrow, July 9th, because that's what we were told. Now, pushing this out, if trade deals aren't struck with these countries, as Garrett just said, August 1st is when the U.S. puts reciprocal tariffs in place against many of these countries. But as you saw also, the president sending letters out to several countries, putting tariffs in place as of August 9th. Japan and South Korea, notably, 25%. We do a lot of import and exports with those two countries.
Yesterday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told CNBC that we can expect some trade announcements within the next 48 hours. Still, clearly, Wall Street not happy with what's going on. Indices were way down yesterday. Talk about why that is and maybe what we can expect as the week goes on.
Yeah, just the lack of coherent policy is confusing investors, but they've so far ignored it because they thought maybe the July 9th deadline would be real. That's why you saw that big momentum and upswing in the market really since April 9th. So now that we don't necessarily have a firm date in place, but we have new potential dates, you're going to see some choppiness in the stock market right now. But in general, I think people think that these tariffs are not going to be as bad as originally threatened. That's why you've seen the momentum in stock prices. That's why you've seen a cooling out in bond yields right now. But there's still so much uncertainty and volatility around the capital markets right now, and it all centers on the lack of coherent policy.
What does this mean for consumers, and when might we see higher prices?
Yeah, we've been waiting for a very long time to see higher prices, and you've seen them incrementally in some places, but we have not seen them across the boards yet. So we have not seen the impact on consumer prices. We've talked about it before. Inflation's very cool right now at 2.4%. A lot of that is because egg prices and gas prices are down. But again, we're not necessarily paying the higher import prices when we're buying a pair of Nikes or when we're buying a car that has foreign parts yet. We haven't felt that yet. We might still, but so far we have not.
Yeah. All right, Caleb Silver, thank you so much. Well, there are new developments in the case of Jeffrey Epstein. In a memo, the Justice Department is contradicting a series of conspiracy theories surrounding the case, saying Epstein died by suicide while awaiting trial. The DOJ also said that a rumored Epstein client list does not exist. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk has the latest here. Hi, Steph. Good morning.
Hey, Savannah. Good morning. Jeffrey Epstein was supposed to go to trial where the evidence the government had against him would be presented to a jury and also the public. But that never happened. It created an environment rife for conspiracies. And now the Trump administration, some who even spread those theories themselves, want to put them to rest.
New details this morning in the case of Jeffrey Epstein, with the Justice Department and FBI releasing video of the hallway outside his jail cell on the night he took his own life in 2019, showing no one went in. The DOJ also released a 2-page, undated, unsigned memo on Monday, confirming the financier and convicted sex offender died by suicide in federal prison while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. The DOJ says it found no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, concluding Epstein did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls. It's a striking reversal of a past statement by the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Pam Bondi. In February, Bondi was asked by Fox News about a possible client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
The White House press secretary on Monday asked about those comments.
She was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
Bondi has faced fierce criticism from some Trump supporters after she promoted the February release of a series of Epstein documents that were already publicly available, with some far-right figures calling for Bondi's resignation. Former Trump ally, billionaire Elon Musk, mocking Bondi as a clown on X Monday, weeks after he deleted a post accusing the president of being in the Epstein files. Conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's death have circulated for years, including from some Trump administration officials. Among them, FBI Director Kash Patel and his second-in-command, Dan Bongino. As a podcaster, Bongino accused the media of failing to investigate claims that Epstein engaged in blackmail.
I'm amazed at how few people are putting two and two together.
Both Bongino and Patel have reversed course, having this to say on Fox News in May.
You know a suicide when you see one?
I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Has fueled some conspiracies itself. There appears to be a missing minute. At midnight, the Justice Department has not responded. Sorry, that missing minute is at midnight, but the Justice Department has not responded to our request for comment about the apparent discrepancy. Lots of people online have their own ideas. Meanwhile, the DOJ says it will not be releasing any more material from the case files, acknowledging much of it could be harmful to Epstein's victims. The president has never been implicated in any wrongdoing related to Epstein. Savannah?
All right, Steph, thank you so much.
Much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now. A little later, more harrowing stories of survival in Texas's hard-hit hill country as rescue teams there ramp up their search for those still missing after those devastating floods.
First, though, after the break, a grim new milestone in America's measles crisis. Cases are now at a 33-year high. How might this outbreak impact the nation's public health standing on a global scale? The doctor's in next.
We're back with the measles outbreak that is spreading across the U.S. New data shows cases have reached their highest in decades.
So far, there are nearly 1,300 confirmed cases across 38 states this year, with the largest outbreak happening in Texas. The measles outbreaks have slowed since earlier this year, but some experts worry that the growing anti-vaccine movement could cost the U.S. its elimination status.
NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Sayal is here with us. Good to have you with us. So here's the deal. NBC News has now confirmed measles cases in the U.S. have reached the highest point since the disease was eliminated in this country 25 years ago. Of course, one of the main reasons is people aren't getting the MMR vaccine. What should we know about the MMR vaccine?
Right, Joe, this just came on right before we came on air. NBC News has confirmed these numbers. These are the highest since the disease was considered eliminated in the year 2000. And, you know, it's quite unfortunate, right? This is a vaccine-preventable illness. And going back to your question about what should people know about the vaccine, you know, it's been around for decades. This is something that we have studied over and over again. We know that it's extremely safe and it's, Joe, extremely effective, right? When we talk about criticisms of the COVID vaccine, one of the most common things I hear of my patients is, what's the point of getting it if I'm still going to get COVID anyway? Well, with the measles vaccine, it's 2 doses, 97 to 98% effective at getting the virus in the first place, right? It has that sort of sterilizing immunity, meaning that if you were exposed to it, you shouldn't get sick. It's a little bit different than the COVID vaccine in that sense. So highly, highly recommend. I still have patients in my office as an adult who are checking their immunity, and if they're not immune, getting a booster and doing well with it.
Let's just put some stats also around this vaccination rate. The CDC says that 92% of people who contracted measles were either unvaccinated or their vaccination status was not known. Obviously, a huge percentage of the people who have contracted it. What are the long-term risks to the nation's public health if people choose to not get vaccinated?
Right. So Savannah, measles has a lot of long-term complications. You know, most people who get measles will recover and will be okay. But you can see one on your screen here that I reported a few months ago when this outbreak was sort of, you know, a lot more making headlines. And was about the long-term complications in terms of the immune system. So a lot of people don't know this, but if you get measles and you recover from it, you do okay, it can actually wipe out pre-existing immunity. It's something called immune amnesia. So things, you know, antibodies built up to COVID, to the flu, to, you know, diarrheal illnesses can be completely wiped out by measles. So just because you may recover, you may be okay, doesn't mean that there's not long-term side effects to be aware of.
So the CDC has created something called a measles toolkit that I guess is designed for communities, especially where vaccination rates are terribly high. What is that? Is that going to cut it? What is it we really need to do to get the measles rates?
I think it's a great idea. So the measles toolkit by the CDC is really for people on my end, right? It's for healthcare professionals, public health officials to help respond to these outbreaks. It's sort of fact sheets for healthcare providers on when to vaccinate, when to check for immunity, that sort of thing. But what's really interesting, guys, is, you know, I practice at UCLA, and when this outbreak was sort of taking hold a few weeks to months ago, you know, we were getting emails reminding us, hey, guys, you need to look for this. You know, many of you haven't seen this, right? This is something that has been considered eliminated since the year 2000. Right. But we were getting notes about, you know, if you see these symptoms, don't forget to check for this disease we thought we eliminated.
There have been stories from some doctors where patients are essentially saying that they agree more or believe information more from people who they align with political beliefs with rather than from medical experts. What's your message to people about that?
Yeah, it's not surprising. I'll often walk into a patient exam room and they'll literally be watching like a Tucker Carlson podcast and then show me things that he'll say or people on the right or people on the left are saying. So I get it. You know, I think that public health shouldn't be political, right? It shouldn't be something that one side believes in vaccines and the other doesn't. It's sad that we're sort of trending that way. But, you know, my message is wherever you're getting your source, make sure you are getting it from people who are reliable, who are trustworthy, and always ask where the source is coming from. You know, I think a lot of times people sort of say things and sort of don't ask why or where are you getting that from. And we as doctors did a horrible job at communicating that during COVID, right? We would, instead of telling people how we got to the conclusion, we were just giving them the conclusion. And I think wherever you're getting your source from, make sure you know how exactly people are getting to that conclusion.
Great advice right there. And also remember, most politicians aren't doctors. Dr. Sale, as always, thank you.
Anytime.
Well, this morning, senior members of the royal family are meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron as he kicks off a 3-day trip to Britain. It's actually the first full state visit to the UK by a French president in nearly 2 decades. NBC News international correspondent Raf Sanchez is in Windsor for all the pomp and pageantry, as well as important talks between the two allies. Raf, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. We just watched the royal family arrive here at Windsor Castle in a horse-drawn carriage. And yes, as you say, the UK is rolling out the red carpet for the French president and his wife. Front and center are Prince William and Princess Kate. And this may be just a preview of the role they'll play when President Trump comes to visit later this year. This morning, Prince William and Princess Kate at the center of the international stage. The young royals meeting the French president and his wife at the start of a state visit to Britain, welcoming them at an air base before whisking them away to Windsor Castle, where they joined King Charles and Queen Camilla. Then Britain's royal family and France's first couple riding in a carriage procession through the streets of the historic town. Princess Kate taking part as she continues to recover from cancer, returning to royal duties at her own pace. Last week, she visited cancer patients at a hospital outside London. The 43-year-old describing her own cancer journey as a roller coaster.
We put on a sort of brave-faced stoicism through treatment. Treatment's done. Yeah. So I can crack on and get back to normal again, but actually the phase afterwards is really, is a really difficult journey.
She isn't yet back to a full schedule, but tennis fans are hoping to catch a glimpse of the princess at this weekend's Wimbledon finals, where she's been a fixture in recent years. Royal watchers also say today may be an early look at the part William and Kate will play during President Trump's high-stakes trip to the UK this fall.
William and Kate, as Prince and Princess of Wales, are now key players in terms of UK soft diplomacy. So they're playing a very prominent role today, and that really is previewing what's to come for President Trump's visit in a couple of months from now.
The president's first state visit was back in 2019, when he was greeted by Queen Elizabeth. This year, he'll be hosted by King Charles, as he becomes the first American leader to make 2 state visits to Britain. The unprecedented invitation, hand-delivered by the UK's Prime Minister, and bearing the signature of the King.
A beautiful man, a wonderful man.
A presidential visit and an expected royal welcome. And Savannah, we are now on royal watch at Wimbledon. Princess Kate is the tennis superfan in the royal family. She's the patron of the All England Club, where Wimbledon is held. And she has gone most years since she married Prince William back in 2011. She usually makes an appearance at the finals, which are this weekend. If she does come this year, possible that she could give the winners their trophies. And Savannah, if we're really lucky, we might get one of those show-stealing appearances from young Prince Louis.
Oh, so true about show stealing. Raf, thank you very much.
Now to Nepal, where monsoon floods have swept away a key bridge on the China border.
Matt Bodner joins us now with that and more world news in 60 seconds. Matt, good morning.
Savannah, Joe, good morning. 18 people are missing after a monsoon flooded a mountain river, sweeping away the main bridge connecting Nepal with neighboring China. Rescue efforts are underway with an Army helicopter airlifting stranded people from the area. 95 rescuers are reported to have already deployed to the region, and more are on their way. The bridge in question was located 75 miles north of the capital of Kathmandu. Several homes and trucks parked at the border were also swept away. We'll wrap up this hour with a medical breakthrough. The first ever malaria treatment approved for use with babies and very young children is set to roll out in African countries within the next few weeks. This is a big development since previously young children could only be treated with medicines developed for older children, which presents a risk for overdose. Malaria killed more than 500,000 people in 2023, almost all of them in Africa, and 3/4 of them children under 5. The new medicine has been developed by drug company Novartis, and they plan to start distributing it shortly on what the company says is a largely not-for-profit basis. Back to you guys.
Can save a lot of lives there. Thank you, Matt.
Amazing. Coming up, we will take you back to Texas.
Yeah, we have the latest on search and rescue efforts. That's coming up next.
We're back now with more on the heartbreaking aftermath of those devastating floods that tore through central Texas on July 4th. As of this morning, at least 104 people have died across 6 counties. In Kerr County, officials reported 84 deaths, with 28 of them children.
It has now been several days since the floods, and dozens of people still remain missing. Rescue teams are working tirelessly to dig through the mud and debris. The death toll, though, is expected to rise, with people in the community left reeling.
It's really sad because you know what happened. And the people who are suffering because of it. It's just such a tragedy, and it's still not over.
Search and rescue efforts continue along the Guadalupe River. The National Weather Service has extended flood watches and warnings, some of them through the end of the week. We will continue to bring you updates all day long. Time for a closer look now at what's making news in the world of politics this morning.
Yeah, we're going to start with the aftermath of President Trump's recently passed tax and spending package, as both Democrats and Republicans say it will be front and center come next year's midterm elections. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Melanie Zanona joins us now with the details. Hey, Mel, good morning.
Good morning, Joe and Savannah. The race is on to define President Trump's mega bill. Both parties are looking to make the tax and spending cut package a major issue in the 2026 midterms. This, according to new reporting from me and my colleagues at NBC News. But Republicans have a much tougher sales job. The bill is unpopular in public polling, and Democrats have already launched a string of attack ads targeting swing district Republicans who voted to take away Medicaid and food stamps from millions of Americans. Republicans, though, have a plan to turn things around. The GOP's campaign arm is plotting their own ads accusing Democrats of supporting a tax hike, while Republican leaders plan to hit the road and flood the local airwaves to promote the bill in the coming months. And speaking of the mega bill, it's already facing some legal challenges in court. Planned Parenthood is suing the Trump administration over a provision that bans Medicaid funding for any organizations that also provide abortions. In the lawsuit, Planned Parenthood says the law is unconstitutional because it prohibits a patient's ability to use their Medicaid as their insurance at their health centers. The lawsuit also warns the law will have dire consequences given Planned Parenthood clinics serve more than 1 million patients annually through Medicaid. Federal funds are already prohibited from being spent on abortions. And finally, the Maryland man mistakenly deported by the Trump administration to El Salvador will likely be deported to a third country. The Department of Justice says it plans to remove Kilmar Abrego Garcia to a yet-to-be-determined country. But the DOJ was not able to say which country, suggesting that decision may not be made until after he is in the custody of ICE. The judge in the case has scheduled an evidentiary hearing for Thursday to find out more information. And that's a look at what's making news in politics this morning, guys.
All right, Mel, thank you so much.
Coming up, the streaming obsession that's reportedly drawing some big eyes to Netflix.
When Morning News Now returns, we're diving into the skyrocketing popularity of anime, how a super niche genre turned into a content craze across the globe. Stay with us, it's next.
We're back now with the latest on that growing mountain of trash in Philadelphia. It's probably more of a mountain range now. The strike by thousands of city workers now entering its second week, and with each passing day, more garbage is piling up on the streets. NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda is in Philadelphia, surrounded by garbage once again, and joins us with the latest. Emily, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning to you. It is the kind of stench where you're constantly trying not to breathe through your nose. So imagine living next to this mess, in some parts almost as tall as I am. Now, residents are supposed to throw the trash in containers at these temporary sites throughout the strike, but you can see the trail of waste extends well beyond that, down the block, around the corner, as concerns grow over rodents, bugs, storm runoff, and health issues.
This morning, the fallout from the ongoing Philadelphia workers' strike is quite literally piling up.
It's a big hassle. It stinks. It smells.
Residents say it's a total attack on the senses as mounds of trash stretch on and on and on.
In this kind of heat, what does it smell like?
It's horrible. My friends don't even want to come over right now.
With thousands of city workers, including trash collectors, on the picket lines demanding better wages, residents are forced to walk.
Are you worried how long this strike is going to go on?
Yes.
And drive bags of waste to makeshift collection sites set up by the city, which in some cases are already totally overflowing.
When I get back to the house, I'm going to have to spray the car.
While some residents can see the mess from their front doorstep.
Do you open the windows in your house?
Not at all.
Because of the smell?
Yes, and there's a lot of flies.
As pressure mounts on the city and union to reach an agreement, police say they arrested 3 people for dumping trash inside City Hall and blocking the entrance. Complaints amplified on social media.
There's the dumpster hiding.
District Council 33's last major strike was in 1986 and led to mountains of rancid garbage obscuring the skyline. City officials say they're now trying to increase capacity to cut back on staggering scenes like this.
When you're trying to move 2,000 tons of trash per day, it can get that way pretty quickly.
In the meantime, some residents trying their best to lighten the load for seniors and families, bringing their neighbors' trash along in drop-offs.
And one hand washes the other.
Yeah.
That's what communities are made of.
This isn't just your typical trash. I've spotted TVs, tubs, tables. Here's a mattress right here, something that officials say is complicating their ability to be able to clear out this waste. As for what's next, well, the union, they submitted a new proposal for the city to consider, giving some people hope that there could be soon an end in sight to all of this, guys.
Yeah, that might be the best bargaining chip the union has, is right there behind you, Emily. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, let's stay in Philly. Waymo is bringing its self-driving vehicles to the city of brotherly love this summer, but there's a catch.
CNBC's Savannah Henao has that and some other money news. Savannah, good morning.
Hey, Joe, Savannah, good morning to you. Yes, so Waymo will start testing its self-driving vehicles in Philadelphia this summer with safety drivers behind the wheel. Now, it is the company's latest expansion after announcing plans to test cars in New York. Waymo, which is owned by Alphabet, confirming to CNBC it will be testing in Philly through the fall, including downtown and on freeways. Now, Waymo currently offers paid robo-taxi rides in Phoenix, in San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Austin, and is on track to bring service to Atlanta, Miami, and Washington, D.C. next year. Meanwhile, Shein filing for an IPO in Hong Kong as the Chinese-founded retailer looks to save a possible stock listing in London. Now, the Financial Times reports the company privately filed draft papers with Hong Kong and Chinese regulators. The move may be an effort to pressure UK regulators to ease their rules over risk disclosure to keep alive what could be London's biggest IPO in years. Shein hasn't responded to a request for comment. And Yelp is ranking the nation's top fast food chicken sandwich chains to celebrate Americans' insatiable appetite for the deep-fried or grilled menu favorite. Now, the online review site says searches for chicken sandwich were up 125% in June versus 2019. That's when the chicken craze took off. Now, all the chains have more than 100 locations, operate in multiple states, and have reviews mentioning their chicken sandwich. And, well, Chick-fil-A tops the list, followed by Dave's Hot Chicken, Raising Cane's, Shake Shack, and Popeyes.
I always forget Shake Shack does one.
Yeah,
it's a
the
burger
Shake
place.
Shack one is really good.
Maybe make a chicken shake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She's not sure. No. Thanks, Silvana. This morning, we're taking a look at how Japanese anime has gone from a niche genre to its own powerhouse global content category. At the Anime Expo in Los Angeles, this was over the weekend, Netflix revealed that its anime viewership has tripled over the past 5 years.
New data finds more than half of Netflix members, roughly 300 million people, now watch anime. Last year alone, anime content was viewed more than 1 billion times on the platform.
Variety reporter Naman Ramachandran joins us now with more on this. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Naman. So walk us through what we think is driving this surge in viewership and who's watching it the most.
Good morning. The people who are watching it the most are the Gen Z and millennial audience, and half of Gen Z are watching it weekly. And the surge is mainly driven by like a hunger for fresh, emotionally complex content, and that stems from Hollywood being sequel heavy, as we all know. And there is a definite fatigue to the Hollywood sequel formula. And the other thing driving it is anime's diverse genres, from psychological thrillers to romances to just plain fun. And it has it all, and it spans the entire globe now.
We could all use some just plain fun. So for those who've never really watched it, and maybe I'd count myself in that aside from watching Spirited Away more than 20 years ago, what is the most common misconception people have?
Oh, the biggest misconception is that it's for kids. It is definitely not for kids. I mean, I was a kid when I started watching Miyazaki back in school, but now it is for, I would say it's for children of all ages. And for adults, it gives you a fairly rich, emotionally complex palette to play with.
I assume, given that it's surged in popularity over these last few years, that Netflix is really kind of focusing on this. What's its strategy when it comes to anime?
The strategy is, Netflix is producing anime, Netflix is co-producing anime, Netflix is acquiring anime. And it's not just about, the other misconception is that it's not just Japanese. Netflix has just produced Lost in Starlight, which is their first Korean anime. And a lot of people forget dubbing. Now, Netflix has dubbed anime in more than 30 languages. And that is what is driving the growth in anime, because people can watch it in the language of their choice in their living rooms.
What can we expect, even just in the next few weeks, when it comes to Netflix's anime lineup?
Well, you showed it just now. It's Sakamoto Days, where this retired assassin, becomes a store owner. And moving beyond Netflix, there is Frieren, the season 2 of Frieren, which is on Crunchyroll, which is the other big player, and that explores themes of grief and friendship. These are the two big titles to look forward to in the next 4 weeks or so.
All right, Naman Ramachandran, thanks so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, picture this. It's jury duty, but without the pressure of actually having to convict someone.
After the break, we're summoning you to a brand new courtroom experience right here in New York that has some eager legal beavers paying up to bring the gavel down. Don't worry, it's all for fun. Court's in session next. Jury duty might be something many people would rather avoid, but now some New Yorkers are actually seeking out and paying for the chance to sit on a jury.
It's part of a new immersive experience where attendees can be part of the legal process for that price. NBC News correspondent Stephen Romo takes us inside the mock courtroom.
But I need help getting out of jury duty.
Trying to get out of jury duty, so common, it's a TV trope.
I don't really think it's fair for me to be on a jury because I'm a hologram.
But many people are eager to bring the gavel down. The jury experience is an immersive courtroom drama where the fate of the defendant is in the hands of the audience.
So court is almost in session on this Saturday night in New York City. There are obviously lots of difference between this and an actual courtroom. One of the biggest is this. You can enjoy a drink as you deliberate.
The audience acts together as the jury. They not only pick their own summons date, but also paid to be here.
I happen to love doing jury duty.
Have you been on a jury before?
Oh, yeah. I've been on grand jury.
Wow.
and I actually been on a murder case.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you expecting this to be different than those juries?
I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty close.
What did you have to say to convince these other ladies to join you?
Not much.
Really?
It's set up like your average U.S. courtroom with a bit of Broadway flair. The experience is available in more than 40 cities all over the world.
Driverless cars for people my age or something out of science fiction movies.
People all around the world are really familiar with the American court system because of movies.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Of course, there are some differences from a real trial. When you arrive, you scan a QR code that allows you, as a juror, to change the course of the case in a classic choose-your-own-adventure style. And it is not always unanimous.
When the deliberation starts, you see people interacting and having these kind of deep discussions and moralistic conversations across aisles and across kind of all these different spectrums of people.
And according to a 2017 survey by the Pew Research Center, about 67% of U.S. adults say serving on a jury is part of what it means to be a good citizen.
The machine is learning by observing human behavior. It is learning.
This trial was a question of fault involving artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, and the man behind it all.
You should be putting the AI on trial, because honestly, it made the decision. I didn't.
And after rounds of cross-examination, some yelling, and 4 minutes of deliberation, the jury reached a decision, or at least they appeared to.
I had to really listen to the evidence carefully, because it's easy to look at him and say, he's guilty.
I am voting innocent, and I feel like it's not the vibe of the rest of the jurors, but that's my interpretation of it.
So what was the final verdict? That's for you to decide.
He's not telling us.
Yeah.
All right, our thanks to Stephen Romo for taking us inside the jury experience, where tickets start at $46.
I'd do it.
You do it?
Would you?
It could be a fun date night. It depends.
Yeah.
It's like a Broadway show.
Sort of, exactly.
Without music. So.
There you go.
All right, that's going to do it for this hour. Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.